Hilo, this cave.
Put your hand here. Okay.
So I had to like kind of crawl around in there.
Okay. Daddy, put your hand on that rock right there. Put your hand on that rock. Yeah. And then one more step and you're flat now. We probably won't.
Even like it's like just gracefully lava.
Yeah.
One more. Okay. Wow. Oh no, you just started. You just started.
We're not gonna go all the way down.
Maybe a 5.
Well, it used to be lava. I think the lava flow created the cave. I'm just gonna go a little bit down. I know. It's very, very dark. Right here. See where my feet are? Down here.
Okay.
There's another side, but it's just the same thing. Yep.
Hawaii. You can go snorkeling all you want out there, but you're never gonna find a single abalone out there. They never made it here. They prefer cooler water. This is the only abalone farm in the States, and the only reason for this farm to be here is that shoreline. If you swim out that shoreline, it drops down to about 3,000 feet. 3,000. The water down there is very cold, and the government came here to produce electricity by using the difference in the temperatures of the water. And they put two pipes, one to the bottom, one to the surface of the ocean, and they pump the water to the land. If you don't know about it, you can go down the end of the road. There's a gate that you can enter that let you walk around the model that they have. That they can power 120 homes. They say you can produce a system that can power 120,000 homes. That's like the entire island. And anyway, they were pulling water from there and then using it only for a bit of temperature. That's it. They just want to. All right. So we have 3 different sizes right here.
Wow, you see it? Look,
Okay,
baby one
so-
is moving.
There's a baby. That one is about 3 months old.
Oh,
This one here is over 1 year, and this one is about 2 years right there. We don't consider them adults until they're about 3 years old. And a couple of things that you should realize right now is that they only have 1 shell, okay? They don't have 2 shells like a clam or a mussel or an oyster. They only have 1 shell. They are attached to the center of the shell. They cannot leave the shells. They have something called the adductor muscle in there, and they can swivel
Looks like they have
180
antennae.
degrees. But they cannot
It's a
buzz
snail,
out.
right?
They are snails, okay? They are marine snails.
Yeah, they
Sea snail.
We are okay. It's not holding my breath. Abalone can be out of the water for 2 days, more like 2 days. But in this temperature, it's too hot, more like 1 day. They can breathe. They don't have lungs, but they can get oxygen from the air. And this is just for you to see that we are a full cycle farm, and we raise them from babies all the way through. And I'm gonna put them back, and then I'm gonna show you some bigger ones, and I'll tell you much more about them. Let's say goodbye to these ones. Bye bye. Goodbye.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Here, I'm gonna go over to that side. Put them back in a second. This one here is about 5 years old, so abalone takes a long time to grow. That's why they are so expensive, right? This is gonna be part of our broodstock. They're the ones that make the babies. The last time that we got broodstock from the wild was from Japan, from Hokkaido in 2011, right before the tsunami. And ever since then, we've been making our new generations here. So this one was born here. And as an animal, it is a mollusk. There are many types of mollusks, but they need to be types. And the main ones are cephalopods, bivalves, and gastropods. Cephalopods, head, pod means food, so head and feet together makes an octopus, squid, cuttlefish, nautilus, and then bivalves are 2 valves, 2 shells, 2 doors in Latin. That's going to be clams, mussels, oysters. And how many shells do we get on this one right here? Only 1 single shell. So it's bivalve, 2 shells, then univalve, 1 shell. That used to be their name, but now they changed it. Now they're called gastropods. Gastro means stomach. The stomach is lined up against the bottom, covered by a membrane. And then the pod, the foot, the big suction cup right here, right? This area around here, that's called the mantle. The mantle has many little fingers, like fingers, that come out to the side and touch and sense the outside. They're contracted right now, but in the water, they're splayed out like a halo. And they have 2 main feelers, 2 up the Porsche family going over there. And so that's what they use the holes for. And
Why do some have so many then? What's the purpose?
there's no rhyme or reason. It's just some species are different. There's like, I'm just gonna keep 7 instead of 4. And yeah, it's just there's no rhyme or reason that they don't get bigger or not. It's just a genetic thing. I think. Now, when they spawn, they do that in the wild just once a year in the fall. But we're a business, and that, right? So what we do, we can eat dolls, and we put 1,500 pounds of seaweed daily around the farm at the top of the tanks. And then the abalone, they smell it at night when they wake up, and they walk to the seaweed, and then they start eating it. And look, they're gonna step with their foot on the seaweed. This one is gonna grab it like a monkey. It's like, I know what that is. I'm not gonna go past. I'm not gonna pass on that. So now it's holding it. Look, and that's how they grab it. They hold it firm, and then they start chewing it, and then they eat it. And so that's how they eat. Say hi to the abalone. All right, here we go. Look at this. This one is still coming out. Look at that. Ah, there you go. There are two brown tentacles. There's an eyeball looking at your phone right there. See that stem, the shorter one? At the end of it, there's a black dot. That's an eyeball. There's one eyeball here, one eyeball right there. There's the mouth in the center, and then there are the two tentacles. They're actually
it's like snail. It's a real
curled in.
snail.
But you can see one eyeball right there, just looking right at you. Outside. But they are on a binary system, like us, and not like an oyster. An oyster is a hermaphrodite, has the two sexes in one. So these ones, in order to see what they are, we have to lift up the tail at the bottom and then see into the shell. If everything there is blue, that's going to be a girl. If it's blue and beige, that's going to be a boy. And this one is holding onto my fingers firmly, so because sometimes I have to use my spatula to open them, and when I do that, I may nip him inside, and if I do that, abalone are hemophilic. They don't know how to contain the blood, they don't know how to heal. Their blood is not red, it's not blue, it's transparent. So this one, let's see, if it's all blue, it's going to be a girl. If it's blue and beige, it's going to be a boy. So let's see what this one is. Oh, so I have to start again, sorry. And let's see. Alright, while it holds on. And let me just say hi to this lady over here. Alright, so here we got it. That's actually all blue. See the shell? It's all blue.
Blue, go.
Yep.
Yeah, blue.
And that's the only way that you can figure out if it's a boy or a girl. We don't have anything over 6 years of age for sale here because they eat too much food and then they don't grow very much. How do you eat them? You can eat them as sashimi. You can just open them, get them out, cut them into pieces, and then eat them. That's one way. Then you can steam them, you can grill them, you can blanch them, you can sous vide them, you can do anything that you want to them. Whereas the ones in California, your only choice pretty much was to fry them with
He's moving.
after you found it.
No, true, I know.
He's on my hand.
That's why this is so versatile. And that's why we changed to the
But he cannot come off the shell because that's part of his body. He'll move back in after.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's coming out.
You know, they banned abalone commercially in California from the wild in 1997. That's why this farm got put together. Then in 2019, they banned abalone completely from the
two
wild.
holes.
Completely.
No, they all have
used to
4 holes.
licenses and you could go and get a few.
See? 1, 2,
So
3,
that's
4.
going down until they just disappear. And now they say that they're going to bring back those licenses in 2026. We'll see about that. Doesn't look good though. But hopefully something happens out there. 95% of the abalone comes from the farm right now. 95%.
Actually, growing up, it's all about the shell.
And you'll see so many. I have lots of people that come here. They were used to be divers back when the days were good. And they have these 10, 11-inch shells all around their homes. And beautiful, great stories that people share with us all the time. And it was a whole different world. And then we just ate them all. Just picked them all out. That's what happened, unfortunately. And they didn't reproduce anymore. And that's why the government said no more abalone from the wild. But maybe they'll come back. I'm putting that like a refrigerator magnet. They go. Yep. Thank you. And if you want to rinse your fingertips, you can use the little spout coming from the pipes. That's okay to use. Anyway, when they were in the wild, they also lived in groups like that. But then now you can see them like that. But yeah, they like to speak to each other. Wherever it's dark, they'll just walk around down there. And I'm going to put them down there again. They don't like their life. They start walking around. Sometimes they fall. So I'm going to put it back. What do you think? Is it good question? What do you think, Iva? Have you ever seen anything like that? This is the first time, huh? Very good. I'm going to put it back. Right now, you don't see anything in the tanks, but typically, this is not a feeding day for the abalone. We spread 1,500 tons of seaweed a day around the farm. And then what likes the sun? Seaweed does. The sun likes the fall, all of that area. And you can hear that noise, that pump, that's not a water pump, that's an air pump. And what is that also? A low pressure and low oxygen. And the abalone are showing. So you don't step on this water. Watch your step here, but we're gonna see this guy right here. We're doing a lot of work in this area. This is called the intermediate area. These guys here are a few months old. Those two blue buildings are the hatchery. That's where the babies come from. Then they go down to that lower level that has 60 tanks. That's the nursery. And then after a few months, they move up here. This is the intermediate level. And after 1 year, they go over to that side that has 120 larger tanks. And that's the last stage before they move over to the harvested area. And these ones here, look, they're this size. They're born on the same day. It's just their weight holding down the grid. They have seaweed here. This seaweed was later today. They were fed, not that area, but this one, that seaweed is going to be all gone tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow.
And that's the area.
Oh, wow.
And that's where we live. Those red things out there, those are filters. They're made out of sand, like many pool filters. They catch lots of critters. They get stuck in there, and then we pluck them out when we clean the filters and we put them back into the sea. But sometimes we keep a few of them for everyone to see. So at the end of the tour, I'm going to show you some of the things that got stuck there lately. They are all different sizes. They were born on the same batch, but they are different sizes. Some of them we just like to ignore them. Because of that, we have to shed. Twice a week, we bring them over here, then we see the ones that are size number 1, and they go into a different basket, and then they move over to the harvested area. The smaller ones are going to stay there for as long as they need to go to that side. So that means that when you come here and then you buy a size number 1, it could be a 1-year-old all the way to 2.5 years of age. That's how wide the scale is. And you can see some of them have green spots on them. Yeah, that's because of those pellets that we feel. And those green spots are always going to stay there, always going to remain there. So you can tell the history of the food color of the abalone by looking at the shell.
Super cold. Very cold. Very cold. So the seaweed wants cold weather. Abalone is in between.
It's just fake, like plastic. And in 2001, Oregon State University brought a little bit, and then everything came out of there. Don't worry, just leave it there. That's okay. That's okay. And
Abalone is so much.
it all started with a little bunch like this, right? It's 1,500 pounds with that net. That's several trips that it makes that hopper to that metal bed, and then we use the small blue baskets and then bring it by hand to the tanks, 400 tanks. That's a lot of work. And so feeding the abalone and cleaning the tanks are the two major labors here. Now, this is great for the abalone. Look, Ayla, you wanna see something cool? You wanna grab it? You wanna grab it?
What is that?
Abalone.
These are called
No,
amphipods.
no,
Amphipods
that's
and
not.
copepods are part of the zooplankton. They live in the seaweed,
Plankton.
and they don't bother anyone. They just go in the seaweed. Then the abalone eat the seaweed. Abalone are herbivorous, and so are the amphipods, so they don't interact. Biology, now there's up to 19 kingdoms. Not everybody agrees on all of them. I'm not a biologist, and I'm not going to add my... But I've looked this up, and Hawaiian is going to be loud, so I'm going to let that go. Plants, fungi, and protista. All algae are part of the protista kingdom because they don't fit elsewhere. Meaning this one really is a plant because it realizes photosynthesis, right? Uses sunlight, grabs carbon dioxide from the water, releases oxygen, so it's a plant. But it cannot be a plant because it doesn't have a root system. Whenever you see kelp or seaweed attached to the bottom of the sea, that's not a root, that's an attachment. They don't want to drift away. So if they don't have a root system, that means that they don't have a vascular system. They don't have veins running through them, taking the nutrients from the soil up to the leaves, which is what plants do. So then are they more like animals because they just sit in the water and they eat the nutrients straight up like that? That's animal-like, but animals don't reproduce by spores. And this one has male and female spores like a mushroom. So a little bit of everything, but then not. Okay, now, how do we grow it here? Because we patented a way to do it, and it's not by the sporing system. What we figure out is this. If you break it down to this size right here, this one is gonna grow back to a bigger size again in about 3 months. Right now you see these empty tanks that we have out there. We're gonna scrub them clean. We're gonna put brand new water. We're gonna grab 100 pounds, mulch it to this size right here, dump it in there, and in 3 months it's gonna go from 100 pounds to 4,000 pounds.
I know.
In 3 months. That's because we have an excessive amount of sunlight right here. This is considered a desert by the amount of it, and that's not something that you get in the Pacific Northwest or on the Atlantic. In this tank, you can see the bubbles coming from the center, then it moves the seaweed upwards, then it splits at the top and it goes to either side. Then on the sides it goes down to the bottom because it sinks again. You can see in the windows how it's going down. And then it goes back to the center and up again. So it makes 2 cycles, just getting sunlight. That's what's important to us. And if you want to try this, you're welcome to do it. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can do it. I always do because it is like taking vitamins. What you want to do, grab a leaf like this, not the core. The core has a darker color. That's microalgae. And we can eat it too. It's really good for us, but it tastes a little bit different. And make sure you don't get a shrimp. It's salty. It's very salty. It has salt water, and you can keep chewing on it until that salinity goes away, and then you're gonna see the flavor of the seaweed, which is really mild. You could rinse this. You could rinse this, put it in a salad with other lettuces and a dressing, and you wouldn't even know that it's a seaweed. So, if you wanna try it, go ahead and grab a little bit. If it falls to the ground, don't pick it up. If you grab too much, don't worry. You can put it back in the water.
All right, give me one.
Okay.
Salty.
It's salty, but it goes away. That saltiness goes away eventually.
The salt is just from the
It
water.
has a little bitterness there, something that's uncontaminated. Right, they crack them open, there's 5 shells, 5 compartments, and then that's where the good orange stuff that people love is right there. We don't have good homemade in Hawaii. Yep, if you're gonna eat any, it's this one here. This is the only one that's actually kind of seasonal, but the best one comes from Japan and California. This one is called a collector sea urchin. Collector sea urchins or decorator sea urchins. They grab things like rocks and shells and seaweed and all kinds of stuff, and they gather them and they hold them, and you can't see them sometimes. That's how many things they have on. And scientists, they don't know why they do that. It's either for camouflage or for UV light protection or for extra armor because they have short spines, right? But the curious thing is not that they do that, but how do they do it? They don't have any hands, they have short spines, they cannot grab anything. How are they going to move a rock from here on the way up there? And the answer is that they do have hands. Well, I call them hands, again, because I'm not a biologist, I'm just a tour guide, but scientists call them podia, or 2 feet, and they have thousands of them, thousands. They're inside the shell, there's like these little tentacles that come out. They're about this length right here. They look like human hairs, maybe a little bit thinner. If they were all out right now, it would look like a chia pet. And at the end of each tentacle, they have either a suction cup or 3 little pincers, 3 little fingers. And they grab the rocks from here from the side, they begin with a few of them, and they pass them hand by hand or foot by foot, all the way to the top, and that's how they hold them. Right now, when they don't use them, all over the body, it's not just at the bottom. And like any other sea urchin, this one was eating seaweed. They eat seaweed, they're omnivores, they'll eat anything, but they like a lot of seaweed. And their mouth is at the center of the bottom. It has 5 teeth. You cannot see them very well right now, but they have 5 teeth. They're really sharp. And if you see them by the shoreline, sometimes by the hundreds, and they live in the rocks, and each one of them have a little hole where they fit very neatly. They chew the rock with that mouth to make that hole that can be several inches deep. So pretty crazy that they do that. And if anybody wants to grab them, you can hold them, you don't have to. But if anybody wants to, it feels like a brush, like a horsehair brush pretty much. That's what that one feels like. This one's a little bit more prickly, but if anybody related to them, this is called the brittle star. Brittle stars are called brittle because they break all the time. And it's kind of like a self-defense mechanism. And they are quicker than a starfish. And they are like a sea urchin. They have a mouth at the bottom that has 5 teeth.
How many legs are?
They'll eat anything.
5.
And they don't do anything. They don't bite. They don't have a stinger. They don't have a neurotoxin. So they're okay. So if anybody wants to grab this one, you're going to need 2 hands.
Isla, do you want to
2
touch it?
hands. Isla, do you want to hold it in your hand so you can have a picture with
Isla,
it?
come on.
Yeah.
Get up, get up, get
So
up.
have mom take a picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
come on, get up. You have to get up and push.
See?
It's so ticklish, Isla. Do you want to touch it? It's tickling me.
Like gonna grab it?
Yeah,
2
grab
hands. 2
it.
hands.
Well, we'll get you a cookie if you touch it.
Oh, cookie. Okay, let's take a picture of that.
Okay,
Very
ready?
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, wait. Mom's ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got
Look at mom.
it.
Look at mom.
Isla, look at Mama.
Look at mom.
Isla, it's so ticklish, huh?
Anybody else want to grab it? It doesn't do anything.
Isla, it's very tickly, right?
So excited.
Huh? Yeah, we're going there. Yeah, we're gonna go get it. Come, do you want to go inside now?
Anybody else want to grab it?
Gonna grab it?
2 hands.
You want me to hold you?
It doesn't do anything. But sometimes it just runs really fast and then you have to use your other hand to stop it. It likes you. It just sat there very
Just
peaceful.
kind of
Yeah.
chilling,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Look at the camera.
Yeah. Isla, that's a sea cucumber. Did you see it?
And
Isla, help.
Just some of them can be smoked, others slightly smoked, and then no smoke. The one that we're gonna try today is just natural, no smoke. These are just smaller pieces of them. We've added a little bit of black pepper and dried parsley on top, and it's cold. It came out of the refrigerator. Okay. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab a piece of my fine cutlery right here, and there's a rubbish can over on this side of the table, and there's one piece for each one of you, just to see the texture. Abalone are typically tough, but these are just boiled and put in the can, and you're gonna see how tender they are.
Huh? Okay, I'll get you one.
Yeah.
You want to try? Yes? Okay.
So there you have it. You can just open them, put them in a salad, pick them up with our fingertips. But in Okinawa, in Japan, they are super, super popular. They are some of the longest living people on earth come from Okinawa year after year, they say, because of eating this type of seaweeds. They are very high on something called hyaluronic acid, which is great for your skin, your body, and apparently they make you live longer. I'll take any of those three. And when you grab them, you're gonna pick them up with your fingertips and dip them a little bit into the ponzu sauce as a citrus soy sauce. They're gonna be creamy. You don't expect that. It's like caviar in a way, but they're not fishy. They're very clean, and they're really good for your health. So yeah, go ahead and pick one up and yeah, give it a try.
Sea grapes.
Sea grapes, umibudo, and we're starting to cultivate it here at the farm. You can find it as a side dish at the food truck, and then you can find them at Safeway and at KTA on the sushi side of the store.
It's like caviar.
Like caviar, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's try it.
We're gonna try abalone in the shell, cooked, steamed for 10 minutes. That's it, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Nothing added, nothing taken out of them. Like it was this morning, we just put them in the steamer and that's it. But before we ship them, cook them, or do anything to them, we let them stay in the water for 2 days with no food, so that they're completely purged. They're super clean. So when you get them from the wild, you have to do a lot of cleaning, not this one. They're all ready to go. And make sure that at the top there's going to be the meat. Underneath there's the liver. The liver has a darker color and it has more flavor. And people love the liver. Some people only want to eat the liver, but some people that don't eat seafood so much may find it a little bit rich. So at your own pace, when you're done with them, you're welcome to keep the shell. They make great souvenirs. Just make sure that you clean them really well if you're going to put them in your luggage, or get an airtight container. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And make sure that they're not hot when you pick them up. I just got them from the grill. But you only put them there for 3 minutes. There's a paper towel here if you need one. And there's one for each one of you, including for Ayla as well, if she wants to try it. And so there you go. They're cut in half. Yeah.
Is it true that you say you steam it for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
What if you over steam it, will it become hardened?
Yes, it does. Don't overcook it unless you're a professional sushi chef. And this is what they do in Japan. They steam them and you go past the 15 minutes and they become hard. And then they keep cooking them for 3.5, 4 hours, and they come down again.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's something that they do. They say that it breaks down the fibers even better. And a professional chef, they'll sous vide too. They'll sous vide, but you don't need to sous vide. Nothing. Taste just how it came out of the farm, because
Original.
this is a farm-to-table experience right there. Right? Pardon me? Sriracha, lime juice, that would be perfect with it. How about garlic butter?
Yes.
That's something that's available at the food truck.
Oh, the subway.